So you want to go to SHOT Show and you're curious of what it takes. Now, not everyone can go to SHOT Show. I just got back from SHOT Show 2024. Yesterday I started feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm definitely sick. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad. Got a little bit of something in my chest. My other half that went with me, she's definitely sick. So just pretty much expect to get sick when you go to a SHOT Show. They actually call it the SHOT Show plague for a reason. And you literally have over 50,000 people converging in one spot from around the world, all touching the same things. And uh, last time I went to SHOT Show, which was before 2024 and 2020, some of my friends mentioned, hey, just expect to get sick. And back then, no one even knew what COVID was. And so you go to the booth, make sure you wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, blah, blah, blah. I went out of my way to not get sick. And here I ended up getting, at that time, I didn't know it was COVID, but I got COVID. And I got so drastically sick that I vowed to myself that I would never go to SHOT Show again. Now that kind of all this BS is out of the way, I decided to go in 2024. And like I said, I feel a little bit under the weather, but just expect to get sick. It's just one of those things. Now, when it comes to SHOT Show, it's usually in January. It's usually the second or third week of January, and SHOT Show is actually ran by the NSSF, which is an acronym, stands for the National Shooting Sports Foundation. And not everyone can go to SHOT Show. You either have to be an exhibitor, buying and selling of some sort of commercial thing, or being a media, which in my case, I went as Elfster's Rifles and Reloading. I got my badge under a media presence. So words of advice here. Register for your badge as early as possible. The second they allow you to register, I would do that. As for 2024, being that I previously went, they actually re-invited me and I was able to go for free. My badge actually didn't cost anything. That's if you register the second they allow it. If you wait too long, they start charging for those media badges. And, registration, depending on your classification, if you're buying, selling, exhibitor, or media, it can range anywhere from, $35 to $750. And it really depends if you're an NSSF member or not. That can affect the price also. But not anyone can go. You can't just walk off the street as public is not invited. You need to register or be invited. So, but like I said earlier, if you can register early, more times than not, you can get your badge. At least as for me, my experience as media, I got mine for free for the badge. I didn't have to pay for it. And book early. Your hotel, your flight. The second you're confirmed with your badge, then book your hotel and flight. When you're booking early, especially for your flight and especially for your hotel, it makes a big difference on the price. Now, I personally, I just need a place to crash. I don't need anything super expensive. And I stayed at the Flamingo. And I'm about to go over here a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to take you through Google Earth and make it really crystal clear. Of, at least for me, in my opinion, is the best place to stay for not only staying for cheap, but also some places I can recommend that are very cheap if you need some quality food, or a nice blend of not giving your firstborn son to eat at an establishment, especially when it comes to drinking. If you're into drinking, you like your alcohol. I personally like a beverage here and there. I can give you some really good advice of where you can drink for really cheap and what to do, right down to $1 a can. A few things about SHOT Show. Usually starts, and there's a SHOT Show schedule here. I'm going to splice you into my screen so you can see this here. On Sunday, January 21st, at least this year, they usually have what's called the Golf Classic. That's from 8 to 4:30. I've never attended it, but it's a charity golf event to raise funds for disabled combat veterans, which is really fantastic. We actually flew in Sunday, and we wanted to go with the Sphere experience. That's why we kind of picked the Flamingo. What's nice about the Flamingo, it's literally a quarter mile away. You can walk to Caesar's Forum, the entrance of SHOT Show. Or you can actually walk to the Sphere too if you want to try out and experience the Sphere, which was really amazing. I can't express how awesome the Sphere was. Definitely set some time aside for that. We absolutely enjoyed it. We went to what's called the Sphere Experience. So depending if you're watching this in the future, I have no clue what's going to be playing. But at least for the Sphere Experience, it cost us, if you booked it early, and any seat in the Sphere is amazing.
Amanda,
It doesn't matter
you
where
really
you
can
sit,
have a
you're going to
bad
have a great
seat.
view. I think we got our
Not
tickets, I
here you
believe, off the top of my
can.
head, was like 60, 70 bucks. The week prior I checked before that, it was in the 40s. And a couple of weeks before we took off, and this was 3 months ago when I booked that, I believe, tickets last week were in the hundreds. So when it comes to SHOT Show, your flight, your hotel, and if you want to go to something like a show or the Sphere, book it early. So the words of advice there. As for Monday, you can go to what's called, well, not everyone can go. They have what's called the SHOT Supplier Showcase, where usually the typical attendees, like media, they don't go that day. That's for suppliers to check others, I believe, other suppliers out, strictly for them. If you're someone like me, like media, most people usually go to the actual show, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, for us, we just attended SHOT Show for Tuesday and Wednesday, and we took off and went back home Thursday. Most people that I know typically attend SHOT Show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and some people stay around for Friday, but from what I've been hearing from other people, my friends, it's pretty rare. Usually by Friday, you're absolutely beat. Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you usually have had your fill, especially for walking. It's an insane amount of walking. And I'm about to show you the different levels and boosts here, but the amount of walking, make sure you bring some really good walking shoes that are not new and they're broken. You don't get blisters. It's insane. You're going to be absolutely exhausted especially if you go Friday, you go the entire week. Kind of getting back to Monday here, before the official SHOT Show opening on Tuesday. A lot of people go to what's called Industry Day on Monday. And Industry Day is, you can go to Industry Day if you're invited. You just cannot go. Usually an industry of some sort needs to invite you to it, or you can try and ask some industry leaders to get you invited to Industry Day. And Industry Day is out in the desert. It gives you the ability to get your hands on actual firearms and shoot them with live ammunition. A few things is there's a bus schedule, and they usually pick you up at the lobby of the Venetian Expo here. And there's a schedule here. If you just Google it, Industry Day bus lobby pickup, it shows you the times where they pick you up, and it's at the Venetian Palazzo bus lobby. So it kind of gives you an idea of when they pick you up. And that Industry Day, I believe, is from 8:30 to 4:30. So it kind of gives you a lowdown on that. I've never been to Industry Day, but from what I've been told, it can be very cold. It's usually very cold. You got to make sure that you're packing not only your equipment and camera gear, but some warm clothing. Dress in layers gives you the ability to take those layers on and off. You're out in the middle of the desert. It's very windy, and I've heard people absolutely freezing their butts off out there. So you got to make sure you prepare for that. And if you plan on going out there to record video, just expect it to be really loud. And you definitely want good camera equipment. I can't stress that enough. Personally, I just use my Galaxy S23 Ultra. These phones nowadays make it so simple that you really don't need complicated camera gear. If you got an iPhone, especially something like an iPhone 15 or the new Galaxy 23 Ultra or 24 Ultra Plus, that's really all you need. And really, you just need some type of a new modern cell phone. But one thing is, make sure you have a good microphone. your video is going to be absolutely worthless if you don't have quality audio. Personally, I like to use the Rode Wireless Go Pro, and I can't stress enough how amazing these microphones are. It comes with this case. It charges your microphones. It's got 2 transmitters, so you can put one on yourself and the person that you're interviewing, and then it's got a receiver that I hook up to my phone. And I personally, when I first went, I brought this huge tripod, but I don't do that anymore. I just bring my Gorilla Pod, and it's more than sufficient. Trust me on that. So getting back on track here. So yeah, Monday, if you get invited and you have the ability to go to Industry Day, so you can actually get your hands on those firearms and shoot them, that's definitely something to look forward to. But like I said, on Monday, other than Industry Day, they do have Supplier Showcase, but that's usually for just suppliers. The actual show that where you see the videos and people are showing up is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And now they open the doors for guys like myself, media. It's between 8:30 and 5:30, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now Friday, they don't go till 5:30. They actually go to 4 o'clock. So that's something to keep in mind. But you know, most people come Thursday, they might go a little bit, but the amount of walking like I said, you do is absolutely insane. And just to give you an idea of the levels at SHOT Show, there's this new Caesars Forum that just opened a few years ago, and then the Venetian Expo. And the Venetian Expo actually has a lower level, kind of like what they call the dungeon or the basement. Be prepared to walk on concrete down there. That concrete is very hard on your feet. And the level 1 area is for your newer products, not your huge names, people trying to get into the industry. And there are big names down there, don't get me wrong. So I guess it just depends on how much they want to spend on their booth. But level 2 of the Venetians are where your huge big names are going to be, you know, Hornady, Lapua, Dylan, for reloaders, that is, all your major brand names, you know, Ruger, Colt, Glock, you name it. They're usually on the Venetian Expo upper level 2. There are some huge names in the Caesars Forum.
All right,
and just kind of click on this Caesars Forum. And I'm going to show you how to get there from the Flamingo within minutes, less than a quarter mile. But the Caesars Forum, just to kind of show you here, some really, you know, bigger names here, probably some, you know, between a huge and smaller company might be located in the Caesars Forum. They also actually had an area over here for archery. So if you're big into bows and crossbows, archery, they have an archery area here. Otherwise, if I back up here and go to the Venetian, there's a temporary bridge that they put up that goes over this. I'm going to show this on Google Earth here in a little bit. They put a temporary bridge here so you can get over this road from Caesars Forum to the Venetian Expo. And like I said, Venetian Expo level 2 is where all the really big names are, and then down the dungeon, level 1 is kind of your lower end products, people just getting into the industry. And there are, like I said, there can be some bigger names down there. There are some other levels here for, you know, for supplier showcase and stuff, but it's usually just these 3 main levels. So now, at least for us, we flew in Friday. We just kind of chilled out and walked around, did some gambling. When you fly into, let me bring up Google Earth here of Harry Reid International Airport. Usually you're flying into this concourse area right here. You might be flying in over here to the left. At least for me, flying from Minnesota MSP Airport, usually flying in, I think it was Concourse D. And then at least here, you're coming out of your concourse, you're going down an elevator, which leads to a underground like shuttle subway type thing. And you take the shuttle to this area over here. And I personally like to pick up my badge at the airport. You can pick up your badges in other miscellaneous areas. If you check out the uh, National Shooting Sports Foundation website, they let you know where you can pick up your badge, but I like to just get that out of the way. I just picked mine up right at the airport. I believe, if memory serves me correct, I picked mine up across from Carousel 5. So once you get off the airplane, get through the shuttle, just beeline it to baggage pickup, and that pickup area for the badges is across from Carousel 5. And that might change from year to year.
Thank you.
And they'll let you know on the NSSF website. So once you pick up your badge, just get that out of the way. Um, I know a lot of people are like, hey, I got to get a badge holder. I got to get a badge holder. Just wait till you get to the show. They're handing out badge holders like you wouldn't believe, and really nice quality badge holders. You don't need to pay for it. They're all over the place. I was able to pick up a very quality badge holder for mine. It has Velcro on it. You can put patches on it. Everyone's giving out patches at most booths. So you can put on your badge holders. It's not a big deal. But once you pick up your badge, I recommend using Lyft service. I've tried using Uber. I personally like using Lyft. I just find it to be easier, quicker, sometimes cheaper. And at least going from the airport to the Flamingo Hotel, I think it was like less than 20 bucks. It was like $19 and change. And I usually like to tip, depending how good a service that the Lyft driver does. I usually tip maybe $2 to $3. You can tip more, but that's pretty standard, at least in my opinion. So let me switch over here to Flamingo, where they dropped us off. And so here's the Flamingo. In my opinion, when it comes to a cheap stay, I don't care. I just need a place to crash and sleep. The Flamingo is centrally located and really close to SHOT Show. I mean, when I say really close, less than a quarter mile, it takes about 5 minutes, 6 minutes to walk to the Caesar entrance. So here is the Flamingo, and just kind of give you an idea, if you want to do some gambling or do some partying at other casinos, you're right in the thick thing. So here's south, and here is north. So over here you can see the Sphere, which we went to. You can actually walk from the Flamingo to the Sphere. It's not that far away. It's less than a mile, actually. At least when we went, I believe it was Monday night at 7 p.m. It was raining. So we actually took a lift.
Justin here picked this
Now,
up.
when you get to the Flamingo, they drop you off right here. So this is where they drop off and pick up for the lift. And at least for us, what we found works best is don't schedule your lift until you actually get to the spot. And the reason why is the app uses your GPS to tell the driver exactly where you're located. So I would usually walk down here. Here's the lift pickup right in the back. So just give you an idea where that is. And I would come out the doors here, walk around here, and then schedule my lift. When I schedule my lift, the lift, I've had it as less than a minute. Pretty rare to see it over 5 minutes for them to pick you up. They are all over the place. They usually pick you up here, and we had them take us to the Sphere. So here's a Sphere over here. Like I said, you can walk there if you want, if it's not raining. Some other things here, why I think the Flamingo is the best place to stay. It's not only cheap. When I booked mine on Expedia, it cost me a little over $200 a day. Well, we are officially here in Vegas, the Flamingo. I don't think you could ask for a better view. I mean, right there is the Flamingo sign, and we're looking right at the Strip. Directly across from us is Caesar's Palace. You know, if you're going to stay at a hotel, you want it within walking distance. You don't want to stay at a hotel, at least for me personally, really, really far away and constantly taking lifts back and forth, back and forth. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg. If you stay at a hotel and you need to take a lift to SHOT Show every day, it's going to be roughly 15 to 20 bucks there, 15, 20 bucks back. It's going to add up to the point where you're better off just spending the extra at a more expensive hotel. And you can, the best place to stay would be the Venetian, obviously, because it's the Venetian Expo, or the Palazzo. But if I was to pick something else, if you can, look between the Flamingo, or if it's not going to be the Flamingo, the other place I'd recommend is Treasure Island, which is directly across from the Venetian. If you stay anywhere else, you're probably going to do a heck of a lot of walking. And the reason why I think the Flamingo is the best option is it's less than a quarter of a mile away from the Caesar's entrance. So right where my cursor here is Forum entrance. Now, here's the front of the Flamingo. So here's Flamingo. Here's the iconic billboard fluorescent Flamingo sign. That's the front entrance where my cursor is. But right here on the north side is an exit out of the Flamingo. And what's nice about this is a couple things. You can walk, let me get into a 2D here. And I can measure this actually. You start here at the north entrance and come down this boulevard. Cars cannot drive down this boulevard. It's full of bars, restaurants, you name it. Right here is the humongous Ferris wheel. Underneath that is a bridge. So from here to here, you cross the bridge. And then from here to here is the entrance. Well, if you're staying at the Flamingo and you're going to SHOT Show, just walk right down the main drag past the Yard House and the In-N-Out Burger, and you can walk right through Caesar's Forum. It's not that far of a walk at all. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go. To Caesar's, which is 1,372 feet. So I mean, if I change this to miles, you're roughly a quarter mile. And that's why I think the Flamingo is the best. It's cheap, just a place to crash. And what's also nice is, let me close this out. This area here, and go back to 3D. This whole area, this boulevard outside of the Flamingo, on your way to the Caesar's Forum, is full of restaurants. And some advice on places to eat that don't cost an arm and a leg. Right here is an In-N-Out burger. If you've never had an In-N-Out burger, especially the double, and it is absolutely delicious. And what's cool about In-N-Out is they don't charge crazy prices because they're on the Vegas Strip like everybody else. They charge standard prices. You can get an amazing cheeseburger for like $4 or $5. You can get the double for like $1 or $2 more. You can get the meal, I'm not exaggerating, for like 10, 12 bucks. And that's unheard of in Vegas, at least right now. You know, back in the day, Vegas used to be ultra cheap. It's just not that way anymore. So we were either eating at the In-N-Out if you wanted a cheap, inexpensive, but quality meal, not exactly healthy. But this other place here, which is called the Yard House, which is right. So right here is the Yard House. What's nice about the Yard House, and we absolutely love the Yard House, especially when we go to Naples, Florida every year. They have a Yard House there. They have damn near every tap beer known to man. I mean, the amount of tap beers that they have there is just absolutely mind-blowing. They're known for their supply of tap beer. And I don't know how many they have, but I'm guessing over 100. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'll display some pictures of that. The other nice thing about the Yard House is not only the beer selection, but the food. The food is absolutely unbelievable. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg in your firstborn child. At least for Amanda and I, our favorite is the pizza. The pizza is absolutely mind-blowing. One of our other favorite things to get there is their edamame. Get the edamame with that spicy. We start with that, and then we eat the pizza, and then we dip the pizza crust in that sauce. And it's mind-blowing good. We've tried other places in this around the Flamingo and SHOT Show. We kept on going back to Yard House, and they don't have just the pizza. You know, we're talking wings, Their selection of food is not only amazing, but the quality is fantastic for the amount that you pay. And it's not exactly super expensive, but it's not exactly super cheap. I can't recommend Yard House enough. Now, some of the other things outside of SHOT Show is obviously, drinking. If you like to drink, you're into your alcohol, we beeline it. We drop off our stuff into the room and we beeline it to Walgreens. Down the strip, so down this area right here, you walk around this little area and you come down here. There's actually an Outback Steakhouse here. Do not go to the Outback Steakhouse. I've had better food at a gas station. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. But they do have McDonald's here if you want something ultra cheap. I personally would go to In-N-Out Burger. I mean, why go to McDonald's when you can go to In-N-Out Burger? Their fries, their burgers are just insanely good and fresh. But we go past that and we go to Walgreens. So just to give you an idea here, so here's Walgreens right here. Here to here. And then we would usually cut down to the north exit. That's another quarter mile, 0.29 miles. So once again, reason why in my opinion, the Flamingo is the best for SHOT Show. So a couple things at Walgreens. Reason why we go there first. Number one is water. Get bottled water. Use the bottled water for brushing your teeth, obviously drinking, blah, blah, blah. But we also go there for the beer or any other alcohol. Because, all right, so not that long of a walk. We're talking only about 5 minutes roughly. And directly across from the Mirage, you can go to Walgreens. Bottles of wine for $6. And this is what we were getting. Coors, 30 cans for $31. So roughly a little over $1 a piece. It's just not gonna get any cheaper than that. Hands down, the cheapest alcohol you are gonna get in Vegas. And like I said, we loaded up our backpack and we literally hit every single casino within a 4 mile radius, I'm guessing, from the Flamingo. And we were pulling beers out of our backpack and just no one gave two craps about what we were doing, drinking out of our backpack. You get beer anywhere else inside these casinos, on the drag strip, whatever, you name it, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. If you go to Walgreens, you can get, at least for us, we like our Coors Banquet, you can get 30 cans of Coors Banquet for a little over $1 a can. And my other half, she likes her wine. She can get her bottles of wine for $6. And usually what we would do is we get our 30 case of Coors Banquet, a case of water, a couple bottles of wine, bring it back to the room. We'd always bring a backpack and we would fill up our backpack with beer, cans of beer. And you can actually drink on this strip. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Monday, before the SHOT Show started and before the Sphere experience, my better half and I, we hit literally every casino, north, south. Probably wasn't the smartest thing to do because it was the amount of walking you do at SHOT Show. I bet we easily put on, I'm guessing, 8 miles on Monday, just going to different casinos, gambling. We literally hit up every single one. We went down to the Wynn, down to Treasure Island, you name it, we hit it. This whole circle right here, we hit every single one with our backpack of beer. And that cans cost $1 a piece. And you can drink on the strip. And be honest with you, if you're in these casinos, I'm not telling you to do this, I'm not saying that we did this, wink, wink. If you're in the casino and you're gambling on like a slot machine, just taking your time, they don't give two craps what you do. And you just take your beer right out of your backpack at $1 a can. So like I said, I'm not telling you to do that, but someone I might know might have done that. But it's just dirt cheap drinking that doesn't cost you an arm or a leg. So yeah, other than that, that's about it. Like I said, not everyone can go to SHOT Show. And if you're like a YouTuber or gun tuber like myself, to initially get your foot in the door might take a few thousand subscribers for that to happen. And at least for me, when I first went, I think I had like 5,000 subscribers and I had no problem getting my registration badge. Um, and what will happen, at least for media, is they want you to prove that who you are. And that typically involves, especially if you're on a gun tuber, is they tell you to post your name and a special code, if I remember correctly, on the about section of your YouTube channel. And then you email them that you did that, they check it out, and then you prove, at least to the NSSF, that that's who you are. And they just don't want the general public showing up, especially, obviously there's a lot of people in this world that don't agree with the Second Amendment, and last thing you need are those people at the show. But just to show you here, walking from the Flamingo to, let me see here. So here's the Flamingo. Like I said, you can go out the north exit here. So go out the north exit, go down this boulevard. Here's In and Out. Here's Yard House. Here's a big Ferris wheel. You can't miss that. Underneath the Ferris wheel is this huge bridge. You walk across this bridge. And then once you walk across this bridge, you're going to walk through the gate here. There's usually a guy standing here to make sure that you have a badge. He'll let you through, and that's where the fun starts. And we usually enter right here on Caesar's Forum. So all this whole area is booths. Now, here's the main hallway. So you walk down this hallway. There's some more booths and exhibit areas around here. There's another hallway. This doesn't show a... let me get a better view of this here. So this doesn't show the temporary bridge, but they'll put a bridge up here that's temporary to get you across the road here. Then here's the Venetian Expo. So right here is the Venetian. Usually you walk in right through these doors in this area. So that's the second floor. That's just that's your big names. And then on the lower level, that is where your entry level people trying to get their foot in the door is an industry leader. Now here's the main entrance of the Venetian Expo. And here is the Venetian Expo, where the SHOT Show is tomorrow. I made the mistake when I first started to try and get picked up and dropped off at this area. This place is an absolute madhouse. You do not want to do that. Stay away from this area if you can, because everyone, the brother and sisters, trying to get picked up by or dropped off by a Lyft driver here. If you're going to get picked up and shuttled away by a Lyft or Uber driver, I would walk away from that area and go to a different area and set your GPS so they can locate you and pick you up somewhere completely different, because it's an absolute madhouse there. But other than that, yeah, check out my other videos. I got my videos posted, most of them from 2024. And I figured some of you guys, especially if you're starting out as a gun tuber on YouTube, or if you have any other media presence, like a magazine of some sort, you're trying to go to SHOT Show, I figured I'd give you my experience of at least how to fly in, how do you get from the airport to your hotel. My opinion, the best hotel is a Flamingo Hotel. Make sure you book it early. How to eat cheap right outside the Flamingo. I recommend highly, if you want some cheap and expensive, it was In-N-Out Burger. If you want something more quality, but does cost an arm and a leg, I definitely go to the Yard House. And then obviously, first thing, at least we do, is go to Walgreens, which isn't far away for water and booze. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of this, especially if you're trying to go to a SHOT Show. And I think this is important, especially for the Second Amendment, supporting each other. It's how we are going to protect the Second Amendment and our rights. I'll see you guys in the next video.